What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video. And I know that we did a poll that did not include this topic. However, if you watched the political debate last night, respectfully, per my opinion only, it was a freaking shit show. It was just two people yelling at each other to the point where I had to turn it off. And so I woke up this morning with this feeling inside me that I can't explain. But anyway, oh my God, it's 11:11 on the clock. I feel change a coming. But anyway, honestly, after that debate, I felt like I was gaslit by both parties. I felt like I didn't know who was lying, who was telling the truth. So if you majored in politics or anything like that, please, and if you're unbiased, because I don't want any biased energy in there, please let me know down in the comments what you think, because I would love to hear from someone who's like a scholar in this, like educated in this. I know that this is a divisive topic. We're going to be covering the debate. And obviously, I know that I'm going to have people on this channel that are pro-Biden. And I know that I'm going to have people on this channel that are pro-Trump. So the only thing that I ask of you is to remember that there was a time where we could debate with facts and not our feelings. So this is my one and only warning. You have every right to feel the need to debate in the comment section below. That's totally okay. But if I start to see name calling, because it's childish, fight with facts, all right? Argue with facts. Don't be calling each other names, because it'll be a one strike for me. I'll either turn off the comments or I'll block you, because we have to be this. It's not normal that we're like this in society. There was once a time where we could just agree to disagree, and that's what I'm really hoping. So please be kind to yourselves, and most importantly, be kind to one another in the comment section. But for today's video, I know it's going to be hard, but after that debate, I have no idea where the hell we're headed. I really don't know what's going to end up happening. And so I want to look into the cards and see if I can get any information after the debate. Where is, the general consensus? Where are people leaning to now? Are we more confused? Are we lost? Are we whatever? And I even wore green today to show y'all that I'm not picking a side. I just feel that we need to cover these hard topics. We can't run away from things that are uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And right now, more than ever, with 4 months until, I believe, voting happens in 4 months, I think it's best for us to know, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, what the hell we're headed towards and what that's going to mean for us. Because I understand that this is to the point where our mental health is getting affected by it. But we need to know, we need to be educated, because when we're educated, we can make informed decisions so that we can make this world a better place. And that's all that I want from this reading. I just want to kind of get into their minds, kind of figure out where we're headed to next. And to be honest with y'all, I was really hoping low-key, I know everybody canceled Ashton Kutcher, and that's fair because, yeah. But I was really hoping that he'd kind of just show up on the middle of the stage, just yo, 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 it's your boy Ashton Kutcher, and you just been punked. But unfortunately, obviously, we are not in, the early 2000s when that show was a thing. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to see what the hell the future might bring us. I haven't actually even done the reading yet, because I am waiting on you guys to vote on the poll, because your vote does matter. But to be honest with you, I'm going to do this reading anyway. I just want to see where your heads are at as well. So we're just going to take a look. By the time you see this, there will be timestamps, so we can go from there. But this shit matters, guys. And I've done, 20 Taylor Swift readings. She can't change the world. And frankly, she's probably signed on to people that wouldn't let her speak her opinion anyway. So I have to cover divisive topics like this. We need to be informed. We need to be educated. We can't be going in with our feelings, because then nothing's ever going to change. Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And we've seen it in the ET videos. We've seen it just in society. Look at where we are today. So the best way to know is to be educated on it. And though, I'm just a tarot reader and I can't possibly know the truth, it's worth looking into, and it's worth seeing where we're going to head, because this matters. This affects all of us, especially if you live in America. And if you don't, I'm sure you're eating your popcorn oh my God, look at this dumpster fire. Because I agree with you. Honestly, I think we need change across the board, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what's really going on and what we can do about it. And we got to be educated. So Whatever comes out of this reading, as always, it is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. There are zero facts here. I am clearly just some weirdo psychic on the internet. How could I possibly know? How could she possibly know? But yeah, so if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website's in the description box below. There are plenty of reviews on there. So thank you to everybody that's gotten a reading and left a review. I truly appreciate the love and support. Hello to my regulars. Hey, besties. Thank you so much for deciding to watch this video. I know that it's not, you know, light and fluffy, but life is all spectrums of emotions, right? And we have to see where we're headed so that we can get control of it. And so I'm just going to leave it there. By the time you see this, I'll have done the reading. So without further ado, to those that are new here, we've added a segment in, which is basically a timeless message from your spirit team, or if you're not that spiritual, just a message meant to find you, maybe a message from your passed on loved one, whatever it is. So if you feel called to stick around for this next segment, if something in you is like, maybe I should listen to this, then chances are this message is for you. Like I said, it's timeless. And if you're not drawn to it, that's totally fine too. Just head over to the timestamps and go straight to the political part. Again, please just be kind to one another. You can agree to disagree. Debate effectively. Do not debate like last night's debate. Don't throw names at each other because that's where we get nowhere. Please. That's all I'm asking. You could go and argue why Trump is better. You can go and argue why Biden is better. That's totally fine. But if you name call, I'm removing it. I'm reporting it, and you might get banned from my page, and I don't want that. But we got to come together. We are all in this together, and we all don't want to suffer anymore. And so really, we have more in common than we don't. You know what I mean? So all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Anything you possibly need will be in the description box below. I've done one political reading besides this. I'll make sure to link it in the description box. All the tarot decks I use are in the description box. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. But without further ado, besties, I'll either see you in the pop culture section, which is all alleged, or I'll see you in the general message from spirit, pass on loved ones, whatever you like to call it. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, besties. So if you decided to stick around for the general message, again, this is timeless. If you're seeing this 3 years from now, this is when you're meant to see it. But basically, I'm just going to get right into it, see what Spirit has to tell you today. All alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And if this resonates and you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the website, link in the description box below. I also have a couple pick-a-cards. I got to work on doing more. I just really haven't had the energy lately, but I will. So if you guys give me ideas on future pick-a-cards, I got you, boo-boo. I probably won't do a lot of love readings, but I'll probably do like guidance and stuff like that. So, all right, Spirit, what does the general public really need to hear right now above all else? Okay, first of all, my throat chakra just gave out, and I just heard the song Slow Ride, Take It Easy. And now I'm hearing John Legend, Take It Slow. So we'll see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Lucky for you, that's what I like. Before I even get into it, remember, for my tarot readers, I was like, my throat chakra's starting to give out. Now we got the Magician card, Communication in reverse at the back deck. Okay, so we have the Empress in reverse, the Eight of Pentacles... maybe that's a Freudian slip, so I'll try to remember that. Eight of Pentacles, but it's not. The Empress card in reverse, Ace of Coins in reverse, and the Judgment card in the reverse. All right, Spirit, tap me in. What is this about? For some of you, you may be on a self-love journey, and you might be feeling like things aren't coming in the way that you want them to. This is kind of reminding me of the last message where it's like it's in the fallback that we get new ideas, because I'm being drawn to how in the Ace of Pentacles in the empath deck, she has a tree of abundance above her head, which is giving me the vibe of like your abundance is coming from your mindset. So some of you, again, might be wanting to work on mental health is coming up for this one. I think a lot of you are either, yeah, because I'm hearing the song, I've been beaten down, I've been kicked around. With this Empress card in the reverse, it's like we really need to be prioritizing self-care, nurturing ourselves, valuing ourselves. It's giving me this vibe of like, what do you want? Like I'm seeing from the Notebook where he's like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. And it's 11:22 on my clock when I'm talking about this. I think Spirit's asking you to kind of remove outside voices, remove that negative inner critic, and kind of get in touch with yourself and ask yourself, where do you see yourself in the future? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And how can we embody that today? Because Ace of Pentacles being in the middle is like, it's blocked right now, but that doesn't mean that it can't come in. And it looks like, especially with this card, that it's going to come in through an epiphany, an idea, a bout of inspiration. If some of you are trying to create career, remember, take what resonates, don't let the rest take away from you. It's almost like it's in nurturing ourselves and finding ourselves and removing ourselves from outside influences and outside chatter that we're going to be able to create a solid sense of self. Because with that Judgment card in the reverse, it's giving me like some of you may be releasing karma right now, generational trauma, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you were in a rough upbringing. Maybe you had poverty wounds because your parents had to struggle. And so you feel like you're destined to struggle. But this is giving me like universal law. If you nurture yourself, the world will have to adjust to that. Because when we, and this is psychologically proven, this is not like a spiritual thing, our outsides reflect our insides. So think about somebody who's depressed, right? When you're depressed and you're going through it, your house gets messy, your room gets messy, you don't clean up as much. But when you're feeling good, you have a lot more energy, you get more inspired. So this is giving me the vibe, especially if you're watching this because it's on a Friday. This is giving me like, it's time for self-care. It's time to cut out the outside noises. It's time to get selfish, but I feel like it's not even selfish, it's self-focused. I feel like some of you may have a tendency to people please, and you may be even working on this by now, but a lot of times even, hello, fellow recovering people pleaser myself, we will feel guilty as we start to pull our energy away from other people because we're so used to giving, but I feel the need to ask, who's giving to you? Who is pouring into you? Because I feel like you're so worried about everybody else, who's worried about you? And it seems like whatever you're trying to manifest, whether that's a new career, whether that's a new love, whether that's a lifestyle change, mental health. I feel like a lot of you might be struggling with mental health because it's giving me scarcity, lack mindset, survival, which is kind of fitting with what we're covering today. It's a message from spirit that we need to be nurturing ourselves. It's not selfish. I'm being drawn to this Facebook post I made, I think it was like yesterday, where I wrote, you don't need me, I need me. You want me, you need you. I hope that makes sense because it's giving me this vibe of like, society has conditioned us to always be there for everybody else, but everybody's always chasing someone who's not available, who then chases someone else who's not available, and then we feel like we get the shit end of the stick. Excuse my language. I feel like it's time for you to go within and stop worrying about anybody and everybody else that's not you, because it's your time to flourish. It is your time to shine. Whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever. You know what's funny is I'm hearing the song Blurred Lines and I keep feeling like my left eye's going blurry. So I feel like you guys aren't seeing things clearly because maybe you've had parents that told you that you had to sacrifice for them, sacrifice for the family. Maybe you've had to sacrifice for spouses, whatever it is. It's giving me like spirit's calling you to wake up and choose yourself. It's not selfish to say, hey, I need some downtime right now to focus on myself. People that don't respect your boundaries and have an issue with you saying you need your alone time, they need to fall away anyway because they're benefiting from you not having those boundaries. And right now it feels like it's a time for you. It's a time for you to manifest the dreams that you want. Yeah, I'm hearing the song The Rest Is Still Unwritten, especially with the Page of Wands reversed in the back of the deck. It's like you're the one who's going to create the reality that you want. You're the one that's got the blank canvas. See how he's got like the drawing, but it's not yet finished? You're the one that's wielding the wand. I just keep hearing like, what do you want? What do you want? I even feel like for some of you, I know people hate pen and paper, but maybe writing down what it is that, yeah, because I'm being drawn to like vision boards and like making a list of like who we want to be a year from now, 10 years from now, and how can we embody that today. So let's say you want to be an entrepreneur, or maybe you want to have a loving connection where it's mutually reciprocated, no conflict, it's healthy. How can you embody that today? How can you be the spouse that you want to manifest? How can you be a vibrational match to a job that's actually abundant and fruitful. You have to become what it is that you want. And in order to do so, you're going to have to be a little selfish. But it's not selfish, it's self-focused. And you've been taught that that's selfish because you're not overextending yourself for other people that, frankly, they don't do the work. So if they don't do the work, why is it your responsibility to worry about them? I think a lot of you might have people-pleasing tendencies. I feel like it's a spectrum. Some of you have worked on it. Some of you maybe just found out. But this is really coming back home to self. I'm also being drawn to the fact that the earth is on here. So maybe some of you really need to get outside. I know it sounds cheesy, but coming from someone who's outside literally day and night, it is the most relaxing, rewarding thing. And in a society where we're always just high strung, just putting your bare feet in the grass, it sounds simple, but reading a book, turning off all the noise, and just prioritizing yourself. Think about what you would say to your best friend if they were struggling, right? Oh, you should worry about yourself, bestie. Like, put yourself first, blah, 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 blah. We're so good at giving the advice that we need ourselves. And so Spirit's kind of asking you to be like, what would you tell your friends if you were in this position? Or if they were in that position, if the roles were reversed? Because we're not pouring into ourselves the way that we deserve. And if we don't do that, we're going to attract people and places and situations that are going to mirror to us that we're not receiving that abundance because we're not aligning with it, because we're not prioritizing ourselves. And that's not something to beat yourself up over. We live in a society like that where we've had to go on survival. And there's nothing wrong with it unless now you know, but you don't do anything about it. It's kind of giving me like, I'm not saying you guys, but it's giving me like, you know, those people where they're like 50, 60, 70, and they're still complaining about things from like 20 years ago. And you're like, dude, let it go. This is kind of giving me this vibe of like, whatever it is that we're harping on, it's time to let it go, because Spirit's trying to usher you into something that's bigger and better for you, because that's what you deserve. It's what we all deserve, but you have to believe it in order to make it happen. So I feel like my advice to you would be like, writing down a list of where you see yourself in like a year, 5 years, 10 years. And then what can you do in order to make that happen today? So like an example, for instance, I've done, I want to get better with health. I want to get better with fitness. I want to get better at prioritizing myself first. I resonate a lot with this. So I make it a priority to make sure that I'm always checking in with myself. I make it a priority to always make sure that my inner critic is not being nasty. And if it is, I need to acknowledge where it's coming from so that I can heal it. We need to be a little bit more self-aware, because at the end of the day, you're born with you and you die with you. So if you are running away from yourself, you're not going to live a fruitful life. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like this is Spirit saying, going inward, making life about you right now will make it feel more rewarding. And with the Ace of Pentacles being in the middle, it's almost like inspiration will strike. Whatever it is that you want, it's almost like, oh my God, light bulb moment. Oh my God, this is what I need to do. Oh my God. Oh my, like I almost see you just being like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Because you've been living in a survival mode. It's because you've been living in a scarcity, lack mindset, whatever fits you. Again, take what resonates. Don't let the rest take away from you. If all of it fits, take it. If some of it fits, take what fits. But this is really about your abundance, your happiness, your new beginnings will come from you prioritizing yourself, because bestie, you fucking deserve it. You matter too. Who's worried about you? That's what I feel the need to say most. Who's worried about you? You're so busy worrying about everybody else, but then you come dead last. That's not fair. What about you? So, yeah. Yeah, King of Wands in the reverse, Death card in the reverse, resisting a change. I feel like some of you know, yeah, Ace of Cups in the reverse. You're emotionally depleted. It's time to pour into yourself, because it's when we feel good. I feel like some of you need to like dance in your house like nobody's watching. Go do some teenage reckless shit. You know what I mean? Be safe about it. If you're going to go drinking, get an Uber. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of you haven't had fun in a while. I feel like maybe you guys have been work dominated or whatever the case may be. But it's like, falling back and getting into the energy of a childlike mindset is exactly what you need to kind of like build your energy back up, build a sense of self back up, so that you can start to see life as glass half full, light at the end of the tunnel, and then you'll start to get new sparks of inspiration so that you can be happier and so that you can figure out and follow. I'm seeing like Alice in Wonderland. It's like you'll be able to follow the breadcrumbs to where your best case scenario is, or your highest timeline. If you're spiritual or not, doesn't matter. You need to put you first. Stop putting yourself on the back burner. You matter too. So I'm going to leave it there, bestie. Let me know if this resonated in the comments down below. You matter. I feel the need to say that you matter. I don't know why. A lot of us, it's just ingrained in us not to prioritize ourselves, but it's time for you to prioritize you. You matter too. Stop giving to everybody else at the expense of yourself. Wait until your cup is full, and then you can give to others. But right now, it's about you, your needs, what you want, where you see yourself, and how you can embody that energy today. You know what I mean? So again, all legend and for entertainment purposes only. Let me know if this fit in the comments down below, if this made sense, if you resonate with it. If you want to book a personal reading with me, my website is in the description box below. But without further ado, we got to cover it, bestie. Let's see where we're headed as a society. Let's figure out where people are now that the debate has finished. Where are we headed? God help us. All legend and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Let's get into it. All right, besties. So we are just going to get straight into it. We are going to start with why, well, you'll see by the timestamps, why RFK was not there. All alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Oh, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Zero facts here. And please remember to be kind to one another. Do not act like them on the debate and start throwing names. Just agree to disagree. Debate with facts, not emotion. All right, so why wasn't RFK Jr. invited? There's a few things going on. For one, I'm pretty sure that the powers that be are afraid of him. Because isn't he like, he's not leaning left or right, right? Because this is giving me like, I'm silenced. Two of Swords with the Magician in the reverse. I can't. Why? Knight of Cups in reverse. I want to block you from appealing to emotions. I feel like he's a more rational type of person compared to what we saw last night if you watched it. It feels like, if I'm going to be honest, I feel like they were intimidated. But Ace of Pentacles, Spirit, why the Ace of Pentacles? This might have also been a power move because he's associated with Trump, because Trump's a Gemini. So I almost wonder if this is like, didn't originally like RFK Jr. and Trump, like they like kind of teamed up at one point? Because this is giving me the vibe of like you would overshadow Trump. I think they're trying to make it very this or that, red or blue. And I feel like they are intimidated. I feel like even Trump is intimidated by him, if I'm going to be honest. Because it's kind of giving me the vibe of like, you make a promise that we would actually start over. Because what I'm seeing is like history is just repeating itself over and over and over again. We're hearing the same shit, different promises. It's giving me middle school. If you vote for me, I'll put a Coca-Cola machine in and nothing ever changes, right? I feel like they see him as a threat because I feel like he would win like popular vote, even though that I know that doesn't technically matter with votes, but I feel like people would love him. I don't follow him, to be honest with you. I don't follow any of this because, yeah. But there's a few reasons why. There he is. Are they trying to make him not even accessible as an option? Because this is kind of giving me the vibe of like, you would fuck up the systems at play. You would, I mean, literally, the justice here, it's like, listen, I have no bias. I am not, I mean, I do have a feeling of who I would like to win, but it's honestly just because it's like, it'll probably do the least amount of damage. I'm not a fan of anybody, but it's giving me this vibe of like, he wants change, real change. Is he more like, I don't know his story, forgive me. I know obviously he's related to JFK, but it's giving me like freedom fighter. It's giving me like shit needs to change. And if I were to come in, I would shake shit up. I mean, the justice scales is literally like what's good for everyone. So I feel like he's more And again, I haven't watched any of his stuff, so bear with me here, but I feel like he's more relatable. I feel like he can form a fucking sentence. He isn't easily triggered, and he has a lot of ideas on how to change the systems at play, where if I'm going to be honest with you guys, Biden, not interested in changing much. Trump, a little just interested in being, you know, it's giving me like I want to be prom king. You know what I mean? Like it's very superficial with that one. With RFK Jr., it's giving me like, I'll tear this shit to the floor so we can start over. He's a threat. Yeah, I'm hearing that song. I don't know if it's Cardi or Nicki, where it's like, she a threat. I know I'm butchering it. I usually do. He wouldn't put up with the conflict. He would probably be the person that would be like, get back on topic. This is not what we're talking about. We're here to change this. I feel like if he were to have been in the debate, it would have been obvious. I think they would have been, because here's the thing, they want us to pick one or the other. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, you can't have one without the other. It's giving me this vibe of like, we've already conditioned the public, the people, to accept breadcrumbs, to accept that things don't change. Listen, I'm not saying that this guy would actually make change. I don't know. But it's giving me, you wouldn't help us with the narrative that we're trying to push. I mean, look at it. It was a dumpster fire of them just attacking each other. I didn't learn anything. I don't know about you guys. Just both of them calling each other a liar for an hour and a half. With him, it's giving me the vibe of like, I would have detached. I would have stayed on topic. I wouldn't have been drawn into your petty little battles. And I'm not here. It's like, I want to change the status quo. I don't want shit to continue the way that it keeps continuing. Yeah, it's very... See, they feel like he would have been really powerful. He would have been the voice of reason had the debate included him, because those two would have just been, you know, in a pissing war. And I feel I could just see... what's his real name's Robert, right? I'm going to call him Rob, make it easier for me. I could just see Rob being like, can you guys get on point? Can you get on focus here? We're not here to yell at each other. Like, we're talking about serious shit. This is our country at stake. It's very much, it's just giving me freedom fighter energy. It's almost if like Bernie had a backbone, like no shade, but like he really didn't fight for himself all that hard. With the Emperor card, it's almost like they find him to be a threat. I feel like if all three of them had debated last night, all of us would have been like, yep, we pick him. And I don't think they want that, because it would have thrown off everything. Because you have to think about it, right? If Trump wins, usually he picks all the people on the red side. If Biden wins, he picks everybody on the blue side. But if Robert won, he would pick whatever is his personal opinion of best interest. Does that mean that it is the best interest of us? I don't know. You decide. Yeah, this is giving me like, I want to bring back the money to the people. I want to create structures. I want us to get out of things that make us comfortable. Stop avoiding the shit that we need to talk about. I feel it. The more I read this, man, honestly, I'm kind of a fan. Yeah, this is giving me like giving power back to your average everyday person. He's a threat. That's why he wasn't invited. He's a threat. Because look, I keep being drawn to how they were just fucking bickering, and it just felt like a reality show. It was a joke. He would have been the voice of reason, and they didn't want that. Because now, after that debate, it's like we're all in this survival state. We're all like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? If he had been there, we would all been like, maybe it's time for us to not pick a color. Maybe it's time for us to do something differently. And the powers that be don't want that. I said what I said. Yeah, they were so afraid. They were afraid. They were afraid that he would make a difference. I mean, literally, look, the Fool card right after that with the Star card. He would shine. He would shine. It's almost giving me the vibe of like, if he had been there, he would have pointed out why both of them were acting fucking stupid. Why they're wrong. It's almost giving me like he's the type of person that would have receipts. He'd be like, actually, Biden, you're wrong because in 2017, yada, yada, yada. And actually, Trump, you're wrong because in 2020 during the, you know what I'm, like, that's what I'm seeing. It's like, I'm fact-based. I'm not here to have a pissing contest about emotions. I think that they knew that. And so it was like, this is not going to be good for us. We have to disconnect from him because he would point out the things that we actually need to be talking about that barely was addressed during that debate at all. So I feel like allegedly, and for entertainment purposes, only no facts here, that is why he was not there. I mean, literally the Fool card with the Star card, you'd promise us new beginnings and you would shine. So we had to stop that from happening. We can't let you create a new offer for us. And then look, 3 of Swords. That would be heartbreaking. Why? We already put all the energy into blue or red, this or that. Ignorant, just, yeah. I feel like he's in it for the long haul. He wants to fight for the American people. I don't know his story. I'm not going to pretend like I do, but it reads like he cares about the people and he's done with the bullshit. That's what this reads to me as. So we are going to move on to, I want to see how the American public now feel after the debate. I just want to point out that I always shuffle off camera a few times. My deck was having such a hard time when I asked this. So we are going to look at how the people feel after watching the debate. I'm going to be honest, I think they feel the same way I do, that it was fucking messy. But all legend and for entertainment purposes only. So thank you, as always, to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And please comment down below, because if this video flops, I'm going to have to cover pop culture. And I don't want that, because we also have to cover things that, you know, matter. How do the people feel now? They're sick of this shit. This is giving me like, I need to focus on myself because they don't give a fuck about me. I got to worry about my home. I got to worry about me. I think everybody felt the same way I felt, the same way everybody that voted on the community poll felt. What the hell's going on? We need a change. The Hierophant in the reverse. These structures aren't working anymore. We need a new beginning. Yep. I think people were devastated. I think they thought it'd be a real debate. And I think it was like, are you kidding me? This is so childish. It's exactly, yeah. It's almost like get over yourself. It's giving me like high school. It's giving me like the Mean Girls movie where it's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is petty shit. Everybody felt that way that watched the debate. I mean, obviously not everybody. Most people felt that way about the debate. I mean, I even asked, like, what do they feel about Trump and Biden and everything? Nothing's even coming up yet. It just reads to me like, oh my God, where the hell are we headed? There's no cause for celebration. Are you kidding me? It feels like, oh my God, we're screwed. We're doomed. What are we going to do? What about my home? What about businesses? What about us? You guys don't give a shit about us. The only person I can worry about is myself. I got to worry about me because you don't worry about me. Wow. I think the debate really just made people think, I don't know if I could trust either of you. Okay, what's hidden? Walk away from what? Shit. Wait. So there are some people where it's like Biden pulled on their heartstrings because he kind of made it like, oh, Trump, you're anti this. Oh, you don't support the people. You don't care about the people. You don't love the people, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? You know, agree to disagree, but you got to care to some extent if you're trying to run for president. Who he cares about specifically, that's up for debate. But this is giving me a double message. Like, if we have the opportunity, we'd like to be independent from Biden because he's a Scorpio. But it's giving me like, you're the lesser of two evils because you say that you care about the people. It feels more like you're saying the right things that we want to hear. You're the lesser of two evils based on the debate alone. Not in general, based on the debate alone. It's like, should we walk away from him because he is because I'm being drawn to, like, you know, abortion and having the right to your own body, your own independence. And, you know, I agree with that. And that's my opinion. And you can agree to disagree in the comments respectfully. But I feel like people are also like, well, the past hasn't changed, so your promises are just kind of falling on deaf ears. So with this Wheel of Fortune, it's like, I guess we have to roll the dice, choose the lesser of two evils. But it seems like more people might have leaned towards Biden in this aspect. I'm trying to remove my emotions from this. I'm a little disappointed, I'm not going to lie, but, you know, Trump can't really control himself, so. But I keep being drawn to the fact that Biden just, I'm going to be honest, and listen, I'm not trying to be divisive here, but he says a lot. Like, ask yourself why, because I'm being drawn to the student loan relief. Why did it take until it was time to bring up a new president election for him to start bringing up dropping student loans? It's like he pulls at our heartstrings because he knows what we want to hear. But if I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like he has any intentions of really changing it, because I'm being drawn to how his eyes are looking at the past. It's like, I'm just going to say what you need. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, Say What You Need to Say. I feel like he's just talking a good talk. So some people are like, well, he's telling us the things that we're most worried about. I keep being drawn to like abortion, wealth going to the rich, which no one wants that, obviously. But it's more of like, I don't like you, but you're saying what I want to hear. Yeah, Ace of Swords, literally. I feel like some people are really hoping that this time he'll actually... I'm sorry. Spirit, can you help me remove my emotions? Because I just keep feeling the need to laugh at this. People are just hoping that he actually stands on his word this time. Yeah, Lover's card. It's giving me like you actually care about the people. The Four of Cups, though. But I'm trying to detach because I'm hoping that if you were to come in, things would get restructured and money would go into the hands of the regular people. But I'm going to be honest, I'm channeling, so you guys have watched all of my readings. It's hard for me to have emotions about this because I'm channeling. It feels like, look at this. This guy's chilling and he's not taking the Ace of Cups, the new opportunity. So it's like, again, there's no pentacles about what he's going to do. The only pentacle I'm really seeing here is like giving the money out of the wealthy and the greedy. But that's coming from a projection of the American people that are hoping that he means what he says. But I'm being drawn right back to the Four of Cups where it's like, I'm just going to give you a Hail Mary and hope that I'm saying the things you need to hear in order for you to vote for me. Because again, I'm being drawn to middle school where it's like, if you vote for me, I'm going to do such and such, but they never actually do it because they don't have the power to. And to take a step back, he probably doesn't have the power to do the things that he says he wants to do. So, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't is kind of what I'm hearing. Completion of cycles. Queen of Pentacles. Why? Regrets? I need more cards before I say anything. Isn't there a woman that was running at one point? Because I'm wondering if, like, something else is coming out. Hold on. I think there's also something else going on here where a lot of people are afraid that not enough people are going to vote for Robert because he's not red or blue. And so again, it's giving me like, I have regrets because what am I going to do? You know what I mean? It's giving me like, I got to worry about work. I got to worry about my money. We're in a survival state right now. If we detach from Biden, will we be okay? But Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is ironically, it's RFK Jr. It's like if he had the ability with that Ace of Wands in the reverse, if he had the pull, I'd pick him. That's kind of the vibe. If he had the pull, I'd pick him. But it's giving me Bernie Sanders. It's like, how many times have people voted for Bernie? He barely makes it. So I feel like people feel defeated because it's like, I think a lot of people want to choose him, but they feel like it doesn't matter because it'll never happen with that Ace of Wands in the reverse. So it's like, because look at how the Three of Pentacles has 3 men on it. And it's giving me like, we prop up RFK. He feels like he's the one that can teach, but we're stuck with these two with their bullshit. And it's like, what other choice do we have? I feel like America as a whole feels defeated. It's actually kind of sad. So real quick. Yeah. Eight of Swords be in the back deck. Are you kidding me? Everybody feels trapped. Everyone feels trapped. They don't see a way out. Ace of Cups with the Queen of Swords. They're also, because this is giving me, that's Trump. I know it's a feminine energy, but it's giving me more like a nurturing energy. It's giving me the vibe of like, Trump, why couldn't you have appealed to the public in a better, like, why couldn't you have gotten your emotions in order, especially with the Ace of Cups right next to it? If you could have kept your head on straight, maybe people would have heard you out for what you can offer. But because you're acting a fool, no one can see what it is that you have to offer. So now we're stuck. That's really the vibe here. Yeah, it's like regardless of what we do, we're stuck with a snake. Seven of Swords. It's like a failure is going to win no matter what. 10 of Pentacles. We all feel, I'm not speaking for me, I'm channeling, but it's giving me the vibe of like, we all feel like we're going to lose everything. What choice do we have? We have to choose something that's out of our comfort that we don't necessarily want. Devil card. We don't have a choice. We're stuck. It's giving me like red or blue, red or blue. We're chained. We don't have a choice. People feel like we're fucked. That's what it is. So what I want to look at is, I don't know. I can try to pull on the future, but I'm going to be honest. Timelines are moving and free will's a big thing. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like things can't change, which is why if you guys want me to, so again, tell me in the comments when we get closer to voting, I'll try to look and see who most likely has a chance. But every time I tap into this, I see timelines where Biden wins. I see timelines where Trump wins. I even see a couple of timelines where RFK wins because people are fed up. But because I think he's independent, right? The odds are against him. So I don't know. Let's look at the cards, see what we can get. All right, so I'm going to take a look at how Trump and Biden are feeling now that the debate is over. And then we'll go from there. So as always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. We're approaching 5K. I cannot believe it. I'm so beyond words grateful. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling. I'm already feeling defeated in this energy. But let's see how Trump and Biden feel. I'm sorry. Oh, God, they're so fucking childish. I'm so sorry, but it's just so childish. They're both like, I just see finger pointing. Like, it's your fault that I acted this way. It's your fault that I acted this way. You made me look bad. No, you made me look bad. No, if you weren't acting that way, then I wouldn't have had to gone off script. If you did, like, I swear to God, these guys could just, I feel like we need to leave them alone in a padded room with no weapons and just let them go at it for a little bit. You know what I mean? Just scream at each other. Because both of them, in their own different type of way, do want a new beginning. They both want to win, obviously. But they feel like they were both fucked because they feel like they sabotaged themselves because they got caught up in the emotions of it, which we all saw if you watched it or watched the playback, whatever. But I feel like they might go on to like continue to just smear campaign each other. Wouldn't be shocked if, you know, Biden goes on and he's like, Trump, blah, 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 and I couldn't even say blah, blah, blah. And then Trump comes out and he's like, Biden's a senile piece of loser and you're not even listening to him and he couldn't even form sentences. It's just more smear campaigning, childish behavior. They both feel like they didn't get anything accomplished from this. So, I mean, at least they're not completely ignorant to what happened. Who's thinking about RFK? I think they're also worried about him taking over. I think they know that they looked bad. I do believe that they know they looked bad. And I almost wonder, I don't know the story about what happened between Trump and RFK because I thought they were working together and then I heard that they're not. So if someone knows anything about that, please let me know in the comments down below. But it's giving me a vibe of like I shouldn't have disconnected from him because he would have been a good like vice president, someone to have on my side. So maybe this is Trump feeling like I shouldn't have cut him off because it would have made me look good. It's kind of giving me like he's the voice of reason. But it's also, I also think they're definitely concerned about how they're being construed because of how they treat women. I feel like Trump feels misunderstood because it's giving me the vibe of like, please do not scream at me in the comments. I'm channeling. But it's giving me this vibe of like, Biden's over here like, I care about the women and their rights. Why don't you see that I care about the family? Trump also feels the same. Listen, I'm here to speak alleged facts. I'm not involving my emotions. If you want to get mad, that's up to you. I don't care. Trump feels like you guys are not understanding what he's trying to say. Do I want anti-abortion? Obviously not. I would like men to stop dictating our rights, but what I'm getting is this vibe from Trump where it's like, it's not that I'm against abortion, it's that I'm against the misuse of it. And honestly, let's be real here, and I'm not saying that it's okay because it's a rarity, it's not most women, but I know plenty of people that have, instead of taking precautions, they use it as a means of getting rid of something. So he cares about the baby. And I'm not going to put my opinion in that, but I feel like Trump is like, you guys are misunderstanding. I want the power to go back to the states because I want them to have the decision on their own. I don't like the fact that the entire government can make a decision because one Senate move can change the whole world. I feel like Trump means it when he says that it should be based on, because think about, we came from a place of community. We used to be, in different villages where those villages would take care of each other. You know how we have like mayors that dictate our, we got town groups and then state groups. He wants to bring it back to, if the state is purely Republican, then they should have the right to be Republican based. And if you want democratic rights, then you should be moving to a democratic state. And I kind of see his point. I mean, but not everybody can move, especially in the place that we're in. But I also see him being like, but if you chose me, I'd bring the money back to you. So God forbid you're in a state where they don't want you having a shmushmortion, because I don't want to get in trouble. And I can't keep saying that word. I think he would be able to give you the resources so that you could leave. I really do think, I hate to say it, but I feel like Trump does want money to go back to the average worker, the middle class. I do think that he cares about the middle class. He just has a really shit way of showing it. Whereas Biden just gives me this vibe of the middle school kid that just makes a lot of promises so that you pick him. They both have this like narcissistic tendency where it's like, I want to win at all costs. They're both doing it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have behaved that way. Do you know anybody that old that behaves like a child? Like, can we at least be honest on that? But I feel like Trump has a regret about not having a connection with Robert anymore. And I also feel like he feels like you don't understand him, especially when it comes to motherhood. Because it's like, it's not a religious thing for him. I know he's probably religious, but for him, it's like, I don't like that women misuse this. And I know that that's a rarity. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm simply saying he wants the states to have the power, and he wants medical professionals to make that decision, not the government. Which frankly, I agree with that. The government shouldn't make that choice. He wants the power back in smaller sectors, because if the government controls all of us, that's dangerous. Do you see what I'm saying? He kind of wants us to go back to like a community-based type of way. And I understand, because if you're living in a state where they might ban it, yeah, that's problematic. I agree. There's no winning here, to be honest with you. It's the lesser of two evils, regardless. Unless somehow RFK just pulls a final hurrah at the end. Biden knows that he didn't look good. He knows he didn't look good. I think he's scared. I think he feels like he's trapped. I think he feels like he was taken out of his emotions. He didn't want to get there. I also see him. I know they make jokes about dementia, and either way, I'm not saying anything on that, but it's giving me the vibe of like, he was having trouble at the time staying on point. It's like I'm getting a brain fog when I'm in his energy. It's like, what were we just talking about? I'm lost. And, considering he was battling Trump, yeah, it would be hard to stay on course. I get it. But he's also super old. Does he have dementia, allegedly? Because I just keep seeing him like being like, wait a second. What were we just talking about? Wait a second. Wait, I'm off topic. What am I talking about? What were we on about? Like, that's what I keep getting. And it's like, he's ashamed because it's like, I feel like I'm a victim. But in the Eight of Swords, you're not actually a victim. You just think you are. So I think he also noticed that he didn't come off as someone who cares about the public. At least that's how he feels. I think, ironically, I think that Biden feels like he already lost. He's not done trying, don't get me wrong, but he feels like Trump made me out to be this bad guy. People aren't going to see him for who he is. But honestly, I would summarize this as like a dick swinging contest. This isn't even about us. Like, honestly, they're really just trying to, like, they obviously, I'm going to be real. I know you guys are going to yell at me in the comments, but we need to have these types of conversations. The way I'm reading these, are they both a little narcissistic on that side? Yes. But it seems like Trump has more plans than Biden does. If anything, I feel like Biden has, yeah, I'm hearing the song, same story, just different rules. I don't feel like Biden has any intentions of changing anything, if I'm being honest. I think we're going to continue to see the same shit if he were to stay in office. Nothing's going to change. That's what I'm hearing. Nothing's going to change with him. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm seeing. He talks a good talk because he knows we're in a divisive state and we're scared, and so we don't know where else to go. And I'm also being drawn to how the Fool card kind of looks a little flamboyant. So it's like, let me appeal to the things that Trump is always being accused of not supporting, because I'm being drawn to like LGBT. So I feel like he's trying to pull at our heartstrings. Like, oh, I support people that are gay. I support people that are trans. I support, mental health and blah, blah, blah. But if I'm being honest, I don't even think he can think that strong. And I don't think he cares. Honestly, I don't know what he's doing, because every time I'm in his energy, it's like, I'm having a hard time grounding because I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. I don't think he's fully there. And I'm not trying to, listen, this is why I'm trying to like show you that both of them have bad traits. Biden's not fully there. I would not be shocked if eventually he gets diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia or something. I don't think it's a joke. I think there's something going on here. Because in his energy, it's like, I can't hold a thought. But I feel like he's trying to pull at our heartstrings so that he can get reelected. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't feel like he has any intentions of changing anything. I mean, he may try, but I feel like it'll either fall on deaf ears or it'll just be another bill. Like, I'm seeing bills on his, on the desk, and I see them collecting dust, which is giving me the vibe of like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to sign this paper the moment I'm in, and then it just never happens. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from him. Yeah, obstacles. Shocking. Biden wants a repeat of the past. Nothing's going to change with him. I'm sorry. Robert keeps coming up. Biden and Trump are both threatened by him. I'll tell you that much. They are both feeling like, oh my God, we could lose to him. So, honestly, what I would say is if you guys really do want RFK Jr. to win, share the shit out of this video, because people feel like there isn't a chance, so they have to choose between the lesser of two evils. But this is giving me like, if we all came together and picked Robert, we would wrap up this cycle, because everybody sees that he cares. That's what I'm getting. Honestly, I don't watch the news. I told y'all, I sit in my grass, I read my books, I mind my business. Like, back deck energy, they just both want to win. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. This is a pissing contest. And they both feel like, I've put in all this work. When is it my opportunity? This isn't fair. I feel like I'm reading for teenage boys. Like, this is painful. So I'm going to end this with, what can we expect? Listen, there's so much that can change. So take this with a grain of salt. This is where we're at today. Who knows what they're going to come up with? Who knows what kind of smear campaigns or faulty promises they'll bring up next? But I will try and see if we could get any information of any future possibilities to come. Okay, so basically I asked Spirit if there's anything that they could tell us, what to, you know, any future. I mean, we still have 4 months, guys, so I'm not going to tell you that this is guaranteed. It's not. There's just too much free will going on. But I'll see what I can see. And when we get closer to elections, if you want, I could definitely do another video. I'm not afraid to touch on this. So, as always, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. You don't have to sit there more if you don't want to. It's a great way to support my channel. It helps me keep doing this. And like I said, if you want RFK to win, I would share the shit out of this video. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, no facts here. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. And don't forget to vote in the community poll, because that's how these happen. Although this one was kind of a me thing, but the last community poll, do that one. Let's see, what future potential can we have? Whoa, 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 please? What? Oh my God. People really love him. They love Robert. But they're afraid he's not going to win. Jesus, look at all 3 of them came out at the same time. Okay, this is reading to me like we have a choice to make, and it is still in our hands, and it is still up to us. We are the ones in control. We have to make the choice. This is Trump. This is Biden. This is 2 of Swords, a difficult decision to make. Anxiety. We feel like Robert is the best candidate. That's what this is giving. But this is giving me the vibe. The only pentacles here is Robert because he's a Capricorn. I believe that's what I Googled anyway, so that's what I'm sticking with. If it's wrong, it is what it is. That's him. This is giving me a message from Spirit that if you don't want to choose between 2 people that can't get their ish together, then we have to come together to pick the one to make that vote count. Because think about it, right? Like, how many times has Bernie run? But we all just go, well, he's not going to win, so we got to pick the lesser of 2 evils. I feel like this is a message from Spirit that you have to have hope. You have to manifest it if you want shit to change. Don't pick the lesser of 2 evils. Take the risk and vote independent. That's the vibe. That's what I'm getting from this. This isn't so much of a who's going to win. This is a, if you want change, this is how it's going to have to happen. Yeah, if you want to move forward. This is also giving me the vibe of like, if either of these 2 win, we're still going to be struggling financially. No, I just keep hearing nothing's going to change. Like, minimal things will change. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing inflation continue to increase with either of them, So I'm not being biased here. I'm telling you, inflation's going to continue to increase. I think if Trump were to win, middle class might get a little bit more. If Biden wins, nothing's going to happen. I'm sorry. If anything, like maybe some laws against like Roe v. Wade might come back, which I understand people wanting. I understand, not shunning that. But if we're talking about finances, if we're talking about housing crisis, if we're talking about, you know, literal needs met, we're not getting that from either of them. No, I don't care. I said what I said. In order for us to move forward, we're going to have to make the hard choice, which is to vote for the one that I know a lot of you are going to be like, that's going to be a wasted vote, especially considering, like, for instance, I live in a blue state. So, like, we would have to literally come together. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever wanted a video of mine to go viral more than I want this one to, because it's almost like the power is in your hands. It's up to you. There's too many timelines moving at the same time, and there's too many people that feel defeated, and they're already in the scarcity mindset. So they're going with who's less bad. That's really the vibe here. Ace of Wands, a spark of new opportunity. This is giving me like, you already know. You know, we've seen it. This doesn't work. You already know. They say a lot. They promise a lot. But you intuitively know it never works out. And this is also drawing me to the working crisis. Guys, shit's not going to change if either of them get elected. I think it might be a little less bad with Trump, if I'm being honest. But then there might be, you know, state-by-state cases where people get screwed. So, like, you know, maybe you want a shmushmortion and you live in Texas. Yeah, there might be issues if Trump were voted in. But even still, I feel like he would make sure that it'd be like a medical based thing. It would be under the doctor's orders. I just feel like we're fucked no matter what, to be honest. We would all have to come together and vote independent. So guys, this is not even for me to, I don't give a shit if no one ends up subscribing. Share this, because it seems like this is almost giving me like this is a pivotal moment in history where we have the choice to continue this bullshit of things not changing or take a leap of faith. But we would all have to come together to do that. It's almost giving me the vibe of like us destroying the patriarchy or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah. We would have to walk away from what we're familiar with in order to get justice. Seven of Swords in the reverse, because they're trying to win at all costs. They don't care about us. Neither of them do. For some reason, I keep being drawn to, I do feel like Trump, for some reason, cares about middle-class people, which that matters. I keep being drawn to that. And I feel like Biden doesn't give a shit either way, but he will prop up like, you know, LGBT. I think he's going to throw that in our face a little bit. But if I'm going to be honest, I don't think he cares either way. I think he just knows that that's what we want to hear. And I do think that he would overturn Roe v. Wade, or at least try to. I want to, if anybody is unbiased, if they could explain it to me in the comments from a political standpoint, why Roe v. Wade is problematic. I don't want to hear opinions. I don't want to hear your emotional opinions. I want someone who studied politics, because we need to be informed, and that's a problem. We're not. We're just kind of being like, oh, you promised us milkshakes if we voted for you. You know, like that's the vibe. Yeah, this cycle needs to end, because everything they promised never comes to fruition. And we will be heartbroken no matter what. No matter what, someone's going to get their heart broken. This sucks. This is just, what a bummer. I would highly recommend doing something nice for yourself after this, because I don't know what else to say. Yeah, the world in reverse, cyclical behavior. Like, I just feel so defeated, and I'm channeling, so it's not entirely my energy. I think there is a message of hope with this, that it won't, eventually it will get better, but I'm hearing the song, it's going to hurt bad before it gets better, so I think we're going to see a lot more chaos, a lot more, you know, those ads where it's like, if you vote for Trump, he will kill babies, or Biden will kill babies, blah, 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 so vote for so-and-so. Like, I think they're going to continue with smear campaigns and all that shit. Shocking, I know. But honestly, Wheel of Fortune here, we have to decide if we want to restructure or not. Because if we haven't learned so already, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Temperance card, we need to start over by coming together. Four of Wands is home life. Six of Pentacles is like contracts and stuff. This is also reminding me of how like corporates are starting to buy homes so that the humans, yeah, I'm doing well here. So the people can't own their own homes. I feel like that would continue under Biden's rule. But I feel like if Trump was voted, that would be kind of brought back down a little bit, or at least it wouldn't be as problematic as it is today. Maybe it would come to a stop. Maybe people would stop buying it. I feel like, I know I sound like I'm a Trump supporter. I promise you, I think all of this shit is bullshit. But it's giving me like Trump would bring money back to us. I just think that women might get screwed a little bit depending on what state you live in. But honestly, with where we're at today, you might want to consider moving anyway. And I know that that's hard, and I know it's not easy, and I'm not going to sit here and gaslight you. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm just showing you this is what's going on. Allegedly, no facts here. So that you are informed, so that you can make an informed decision without emotions involved. Because that's what I'm trying to give you. I'm just trying to give you what it's saying. I'm not putting my feelings into this. Do I feel defeated? Fuck yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, I want you to be informed so that you can make a choice, because your life matters, your freedom matters, all of our freedom matters. And I'm going to be honest, it seems like our best choice seems to be Robert. But if we're stuck between Biden and Trump, I think it's going to be bad regardless, but I think it would be a little bit better with Trump. I don't know why. It just seems like he really does care about the middle class for some reason. And that's something that we need because, frankly, middle class is disappearing. So I know half of you are probably pissed off. Probably most of you are pissed off. I can't blame you. But like I said, I don't want to see any nasty words in the comments. You can't sit here and be mad at these people for acting like children and then come into the comment section and act like a child. We're in a hard decision. It's damned if we do, damned if we don't. You want change? Get educated, get informed. Don't listen to, I mean, they've even proven that news sources are biased towards a certain party. So do research, off of Google. Get yourself informed. Follow YouTubers that have a background in politics and learn something, because I think we all would benefit from doing research. Do research on what Robert's offering. Do research on what Trump's offering. Do research on what Biden's offering. And I'm seeing the King of Swords in my mind's eye, which is giving me remove your emotions, because this is a very pivotal moment in history. And if we move with our emotions, we're going to screw ourselves into another 4 years of chaos. That's what I'm getting. I'm sorry that this isn't light and fluffy and beautiful, but it's real life, and we have to have these hard conversations if we want change to occur. So sorry, kind of, but also I'd rather tell you the truth, allegedly, of what I'm seeing. So I don't even know how to end this, y'all. Let's hope for the best. Let's manifest best case scenario to all of my spiritual people. Maybe do some new moon manifestations that we get out of this shit. Just hope for best case scenario and, get your stuff in order if you're nervous. But I would just be doing research, not biased research. Stop watching MSNBC and Fox News. Like, find people that don't have a bias and listen to them and educate yourself, because I just feel like there's something going on here where this is a pivotal moment in history where we can go one way or another. Get informed is what I would say. That's what I'm getting from Spirit above all else. So I don't know. I hope that this was helpful. I understand if you feel defeated. I want to end this on a bright note. So let me think of something. I've decided to be my corny Gemini moon self. So I've decided to end this with some corny ass dad jokes to try and make you smile. So why did the whale blush? It saw the ocean's bottom. What do you call a fish with no eyes? A fish. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Summer wasn't too bad either. Have you ever had a bad sausage? It's the worst. Which bear is the most condescending? A pan. Duh. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? It was too tired. I'm sorry. We had to cut the tension. I felt it. I had to cut it. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. I'm sorry, I guess. It's not my choice, you know what I mean? But I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. If you guys want to book a private reading with me, my website's in the link below. Website, description, whatever. I'm tired, y'all. This was exhausting. I'm going to go lay in the grass and count my blessings. Be grateful. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Y'all know of my speech. Everything you could possibly need is in the description box down below. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend, or whenever you end up watching this video, please take care of yourselves. Self-care and education into politics is what I'd recommend. But love you guys. Love you, my besties. Love you, my regulars. And love you to the people that aren't my regulars yet, because you guys deserve love too. Stay free, stay blessed, and I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you so much for watching.